Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to the videos, another paid request, this time from Ash. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Bloodfist 2050 from 2005, which apparently this is the ninth, I guess last, Bloodfist film. Although there's no Don the Dragon Wilson. I would say it has nothing in common, but at the same time, most of those Bloodfist films were pretty much their own story. Like Bloodfist 3 was Don the Dragon Wilson playing a different character than the previous ones. Bloodfist 4 was Don the Dragon Wilson playing yet a different character, and so forth. So, you know it's bad when you can't even get Don the fucking Dragon Wilson back for the movie. Instead, there's a guy named Matt Mullins who seems like a pretty decent martial artist, but that's it. There's no sense of charisma. There's no sense of. I mean, even Don the Dragon Wilson had more charisma as a lead than this. Yes, I said it, and you know what I just said, so you know how much little non-existent Matt Mullins has, if I could say that about Don the Dragon Wilson. Because Don, I've warmed up to him a little bit, and especially watching some of those Bloodfist movies. Was the first four I reviewed for someone. I especially like Bloodfist 2. But 3 and 4 I didn't mind. All 4 I didn't mind, but Bloodfist 2 was my favorite. This, first off, now we're in a post-apocalyptic world. We have a car chase that I think was stolen from another movie. I don't know which movie it was stolen from. One place said Dune Warriors. Maybe it was another movie as well. I don't know. While Matt Mullins is driving his wannabe Interceptor from Mad Max. It's not the Interceptor, it's a wannabe. And this is one of those movies that pretty much is you do a little bit of a fight, then you do a strip club scene. Then a little bit of a fight, then a strip club scene. Now that seems like a winning formula, except the fights, at times they seem a bit. Not that Matt Mullins is bad. Like I said, he's decent martial artist, but either the sound design seems a bit wonky. Once in a while, there'll be someone doing a hit and there's no sound effect. It's not all the time, but every once in a while I notice that. And the music feels all over the place. The musical score is like it's like someone with a violin just in a car chase on their own. Like I imagine a guy being dragged along a fucking railroad track with a violin, being fucking hopping around the railroad track, just all over the place. Awful fucking score. It's a movie that is trying to have the look of a 90s film, but still has that 2005 cheapness to it as well. This weird combination. And pretty much the story is kind of a remake of Bloodfist 1, where you have the brother of the lead character killed, and your lead has to go on to find out what happened to his brother. So ultimately, he has to be in some fighting, and then he finds out that a guy who's close to him, working with him along the way, is actually the main bad guy, and is actually the one that killed his brother. So you have the martial artist fighting this guy, fisticuffs, he beats the guy, but then you find out, no, he's not the one who killed your brother. Actually, this guy who's been with you all along killed your brother. So it's trying to be kind of a remake of Bloodfist 1, story-wise. And all I can mention is just the weird shit that happens in this movie, whether it be Matt Mullins, who again, he has the charisma of a fucking vacuum cleaner because he sucks as much as a vacuum cleaner. He's blind. He gets a blind guy to watch his car, Yeah, I know the guy has a gun, but I'm sure Ray Charles has held a fucking gun once or twice too. I still won't be scared of Ray Charles because he probably hit himself before hitting me. He's not fucking Daredevil. Other times the sound seems somewhat muffled in certain sequences. The lead guy, Matt Mullins, again, he has such a lack of, just totally uninterested in him. And it's funny, like one of the early fights that guy has, there's like he did three hits, but there's no sounds. And then the sound effects, the sound ripped off from a 70s kung fu movie, they come back. I just after the third non sound hit, oh shit, put the sound back in. And it's one of those movies that kind of knows how shitty he is. That's why he has to stop and give us like a 2 minute strip scene. Like a lady pretending to be a schoolgirl, and you hear the sound of a whip, and she throws her books down. Uh-oh. And she takes off her clothes. Or another one where she spreads. I thought it was toothpaste at first. Because it was like from a toothpaste, but I guess it's supposed to be cream, or lotion, or cum, or milk, or what the fuck it's supposed to be. I mean, I can't get mad at titties. I mean, it's a short film, hour and 17 minutes, and there's a lot of titties. So I guess it's not the worst movie ever. I can watch porn movies for titties, but at least you get a lot of titties. Titty. So, if you, which is funny because I don't know if it's up there now, but it was on YouTube. So it's funny, like how YouTube is so against stuff. But here's a movie that at the time, I don't know if it's up there now, but at the time I'm like, wow, there's a shitload of titties here. Dude, maybe after I do a review, it won't be up anymore. But and you do get some pit fighting, but the fights are so uninteresting. Maybe because like the fighters, they seem they have no personality, or the fight scenes don't really have that pizzazz. They don't really, with the sound effects, the music, the way it's directed, the terrible. I keep mentioning the score is fucking garbage. Even when you compare to like Bloodfist 2 and even the first Bloodfist, Bloodsport. These pit fighting circuit fights just don't give a shit. I don't know I don't remember who directed this film, and I don't even know if they fucking directed anything else. I should look it up, but I don't know if this guy really has a flavor for fight scenes and how to edit them or how to shoot them to really incorporate the talents of possible talents of what he has in terms of martial artists. And he did some really fucking poor editing. I mean, just horrible editing. Like, there's a bit where the guy who hosts the fights is this guy that looks like a homeless Victor Wan. You know Victor Wan, Age Shen from Big Trouble in China. He was in The Golden Child. He was in Grandpa and Three Ninjas. Imagine if Victor Wan looked really homeless, and then he had like a midget sidekick. Jake and the Fat Man, Victor and the Midget. So homeless looking Victor Wan and the midget, they work in the pit fighting circuit. And the guy keeps saying, no side bets. No side bets. But these people, they were doing side bets. He don't like that. So then he shoots what I can only assume is a flare gun. Then it cuts to an obviously not a body. The flare gun hitting it. Then for a split second, it cuts to a guy up top with like a flamethrower. Which I'm like, who's that? The homeless Victor Wan shot the guy with a flare gun and he's on fire. For a split second, it cut to. It's almost as if this guy on fire, maybe they got from another movie. And in that other movie, the guy shot down with a flamethrower too, but they did not edit it correctly. They didn't snip it as quick as they should have been. And like, fuck, it's Bloodfist 2050. And I would make the joke, man, there's been 2,000 of those movies, but no, of course not. It's just the year 2050. But if you ever see it, just you'll know. You'll know. Well, you show it, because YouTube don't like me showing stuff. Cirio H. Santiago. Okay, I recognize that name. He's done a lot of stuff. He passed away in 2008, but he did a lot of stuff. He's from the Philippines, and he did a shitload of movies. And to be fair, I think he's done some movies I actually didn't mind. From what I remember. Let me look real quick. I know he's done stuff I recognize, but... Let me look real quick. Let's get into the 70s. I've heard of these movies. Savage. TNT Jackson. Death Force. Eye of the Eagle. That was the one with Robert Patrick. You know, I had fun with that for what it is. Robert Patrick shooting the shit out of people. Firehawk. I had fun with that for what it is. Maybe, I think that's the thing when I look at this. Cirio H. Santiago does better when it's just people firing in the jungles, and in the Philippines you can fucking blow up half the country for if you have $80 in your pocket, you could give it to them and like blow up the entire this eastern part of the country. Give us $80, here you go. And that's the thing with those movies back in the day in the Philippines is that, yeah, the stunt guys, you pay them a bottle of water and $3. They'll be on fire. They'll get shot for you. They'll fall from 200 feet up above onto a fucking pit of spike up their ass, and we'll throw in a Happy Meal for you. They'll be like, yeah. So maybe Cirio H. Santiago works better on that front. Just have Robert Patrick, and people go, you know, flailing around like they get hit by bullets. Maybe fighting movies is not really, especially in 2005, from far from the heyday of the 80s. So maybe he wasn't the right guy for this. Just like he's not really known for directing fight scenes, and it shows. Just the way they're set up and the way the camera's positioned, and then just the lack of interest these fights get. Because you tell a story with a fight. Editing, certain camera techniques, the story. We have the fist right here, and it maybe goes up here. Like, there's various ways to tell a story of a fight. Here, it is very boring. Like I said, that scene where no side bets, flare, a quick, almost blink and you miss it, where a guy's like up top with a flame. Though, I'm like, what? We're supposed to get that this guy got shot twice by a flare gun and a flamethrower guy, and the flamethrower guy is only on screen for 0.8 seconds, or they fucked up in editing. I believe that part. And then we don't go back to another strip scene, where again it's the cream or the glue or the tum. I thought it was toothpaste, but it's like glue or cream put onto their body. And then, okay, the guy, Matt Mose, he does have a couple fights, but the actual being actually part of the circuit, like the tournament, whatever you want to call it, it's like almost 50 minutes in. Like, this is your lead guy, and it takes almost 50 minutes for him to finally participate in this tournament thing. Or what the fuck do you call it? The pit circuit. Pit fighting circuit. And Matt Mose, to be fair, he has some good moves. Like, there's a bit where he does a bat flip, but when he does a bat flip, as he's doing the bat flip, he puts the blade, the come hard down on the guy. That doesn't sound right, but I was like a bat flip in the middle. While doing the bat flip, he hits down to hit the guy. Like he has some good moves in him. And while he's not the best actor, I think with a better director and more, I say better pacing, but the movie is pretty short. It's only, like I said, an hour and 17 minutes. Which is, again, the thing is that the movie is almost over and now he's getting to the pits fighting circuit. But we need another strip scene. And then we need a sex scene on top of that, so. I swear, I mean, for such a short film, without the end credits, like an hour and 15 minutes, and probably 15 minutes of it is like strip scenes and sex scenes. Which I guess, again, is not a bad thing. At least it's something to look at. So, can't be the worst movie ever, like I say. But he beats the bad guy, and then he's told by the woman who he had sex with that actually I looked into it, and the witness said he didn't say that he was looking for the cops. He said that a cop did it, and oh my god, this guy, which I forget what the fuck his name was. Slick. He was nicknamed Slick. People call him Slick. The cop Slick is the one who killed your brother, because Slick puts all these bets around and bet that your brother would lose, but he didn't want to throw the fight. So then Slick later killed the brother, and so now our lead goes up to find the cop Slick, and they get into a fight. Now here's the thing, the guy who plays Slick is probably the longest fight in the movie. Which makes sense is the last fight in the movie, but you just don't buy him where he's not physically intimidating. And so making him sort of the final opponent seems a bit of a lackluster thing. Like, really? Now, you can make that work. I mean, Lance Henriksen and John Van Damme in Hard Target. But Lance Henriksen, he's got the acting behind it. You know, whether it be telling Yancey Butler, load me. Yeah, that great standoff, and then Lance using, you know, boards on fire and kicking barrels at him and stuff. And it was the right length. Here is like, it's become such a long fight. I'm like, come on, just put this guy away already. So he takes care of the guy, he gets the money, gives it to the blind guy, him and the girl get back to the wannabe interceptor, and they drive off. So, I don't even know why the fuck anyone would watch the movie. I mean, there's plenty of movies with titties in it. There's even this thing called porn with titties in it. There's plenty, I mean, all the other Bloodfist films I had seen so far, I reviewed the first 4. I think I saw part 6 once. That's like the wannabe Die Hard movie. All of them were better than this. Because when you see someone like Matt Mullins, it makes you appreciate Don the Dragon Wilson even more. I will admit that. Because I wasn't the die-hard Don the Dragon Wilson fan. But again, compared to this guy, I'd rather watch Don. And again, the plot just being just a remake of the first one. The post-apocalyptic seemed like it was thrown in after the fact. Because a good chunk of the movie is just, I don't know, it could be it wouldn't have to be post-apocalyptic, just could be a different country, just a rundown country that they're doing this in. Like, that's, other than the beginning portion, that's why I mean the beginning is probably from a different movie or two. We'll use that footage, so sure, make it post-apocalyptic and say it's in 2050 instead of Bloodfist 9. And like I said, the errors in editing, the music that goes all over the place is absolutely fucking atrocious. The fighting scenes, which become rather tedious and boring because you don't care what's going on, you don't care about the lead. The other fighters that just have a lack of personality or appearance that make them striking, or fighting style that make them unique among one against the other. They're not that well directed because yeah, director that wasn't really known for directing fight scenes. Yeah, this is obviously a quick cash in by Roger Corman and his production. Bloodfist films, the name sells, but obviously this killed it because I don't think there was ever a Bloodfist movie ever again. For a franchise that got to 9 movies, when you got to be the killer, and it gets what a 3.2 out of 10 IMDb. Like I said, at least it was short. At least there were titties, and even the worst of these movies, it's still people fight each other. I'm a sucker for that. But was this a bad movie? Absolutely. Did I like this film? No. Was it easy to watch? In a trashy way? Yes. Because as shitty as this is, it's still easier to watch than a lot of movies today, like The Flash or Barbie or other shit. As shitty as this is, it's still more my cup of tea than that shit. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And go to your support your nearest strip club. Later.